This is Rural Roots Canada. I'm Craig Lester, getting to the stem and meat of agriculture. It's day one of the Working Cow Horse down at the Calgary Stampede, one of the biggest stages in the world for working cow horse. I guess what we'll start off with here is to introduce our analyst for this afternoon. It's Jared Sherman from Soderglen Ranches. Welcome to the show, Jared.
Thanks, Craig. Good to be here.
All right, Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from and your connection to working cow horse.
Okay. I'm Jared Sherman, and I grew up and live currently on a cow ranch. We run a lot of beef cows, and we use cow horses on a daily basis. So this is an event that showcases some of the most elite working horses in our Western culture. So these are horses that you'll see today. Their great athletic ability, their ability to read cows, their ability to rate cows, and their ability to handle pressure, and also compete under reining performances, a cutting performance, and down the fence. So we'll combine all those things a little bit later when I analyze it, and this is the elite part of what a horse is.
Right, and as Jared was just alluding to, he's going to be analyzing things. We're also going to get him to go into the minds of the judges and the riders as they're competing in this event in a few minutes here. But first, I sat down a few minutes ago with Jim Dobler from the Working Cow Horse Committee to talk about this event and the popularity of it. And here it is. All right, we're talking to Jim Dobler here from Delburne, Alberta. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Working Cow Horse. Just walk us through the event.
Well, Working Cow Horse is basically derived from the Spanish vaqueros. When they'd come over, they'd brought cattle horses with them. And it was the way that they worked their cattle back, worked their horses with cattle. The training methods of them has been carried on over the generation, from generation to generation, which is probably a couple hundred years old. Typically, it was the cowboys on weekends when they're not working the cattle, they would have a little competition to see who had the best trained horse. From that has spurred cutting, cow horse, and reining events have all spurred off of that, come off of that initial. So typically our working cow horse involves 3 events. We work cattle out of a herd. We have a reined work, which is a pattern that is set by the governing body, and a single cow work in the arena, which seems to be the draw for everyone. That's the danger part of it. So
you said several hundred years that this dates back 1700s, is that about
exactly,
right?
Yes.
That's fantastic. How popular is the sport now?
The sport is very popular. It keeps growing. The only issue we have with the Working Cow Horse event is that because of the danger of the fence work, it kind of eliminates the amount of competitors that are willing to get into it. It's a little more on the danger side than the cutting event and the reining event for sure. So otherwise, the growth would be exponential probably if it wasn't for the little bit of the fear factor in that. So, right. But I'll also bring some of the competitors. So,
right. And where are those competitors from?
Competitors that would be in Calgary will be from all over Western Canada. I think they're here from Saskatchewan, BC, that I know of for sure, in Alberta. So sometimes they do come out of the Northwest states also. So.
And what's the circuit like for people who compete in the event?
I'm on the board for the Alberta Rein Cow Horse Association. We've been in existence a little over 30 years now. We have a show circuit, competition circuit that runs probably from A until the middle of September each year throughout basically southern and central Alberta. The events are held. And it's capped off with our snaffle bit for charity, which is for 3-year-old horses in Nanton, Alberta this year, and that's September long weekend. So.
Now, a competitor wants to take part in the Calgary Stampede. How do they get the invite?
Well, there is no real invite for the Calgary Stampede. It's an entry basis, but through the year, most of the competitors, since we have trainers and non-pros here, I'm a non-pro, which means I don't train horses for a living. You basically do it on whether you think you have enough horsepower and the skill set that it's involved to show here. So.
Fantastic. How many competitors will we see here today?
We'll see probably about 42, I believe, between 42 or 44 between the 3 different divisions. So.
And how about the competition level here compared to other events?
Competition this is probably the highest level we have all year. For some reason, as everyone knows, the Calgary Stampede brings out the best in everyone, and it's a lot of their people. This is the crown jewel for the year to come to, is the Calgary Stampede. So.
All right, Jim, anything you'd like to add that I haven't asked you?
No, if anybody would like to come down and have a watch, that'd be great. We're trying to promote the athleticism and the training put on a lot of these horses that are been in training probably for, on the upwards of 5, 6, 8 years now. All our equipment we use basically dates back also to the Spanish, to the 1700s. You'll notice a lot of silver bits, and the reins and the breast collars that we use all have a heritage back to that. So we'd welcome anyone to come down, and if you have questions, if you'd like to, you can go to the Alberta Rein Cow Horse website, drop us a line. We could love to have you out. So.
Jim, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jared, so I guess what we'll start off is put the viewers in the minds of the judges. What are they looking for?
Okay, so what a cow horse consists of, we'll break it down into three things quickly, is these horses are going to come in and they're going to do three things. They're going to start with a reining pattern. That's going to involve some rundowns, some stops, some turnarounds or spins, lead changes, fast and slow circles. Then they're going to ask for a cow. They're going to box that cow on one end of the arena. That shows the level of control that horse has on that cow. Once the rider is then confident that they've got control of that cow, they're going to take it down the fence, or what we call going down the wall. That's where it speeds up and gets really exciting. So those horses then will show lots of rate and run. They'll run that cow down the wall to one of those markers, and they'll turn that cow into the wall, and then they'll run it back and turn it the other way. Then they circle the cow up.
How about penalties?
There's lots of penalties that can be handed out. So all these riders start with a score, and penalties are deducted from there or added from there, or points are given from there. So there's lots of penalties to be kind of dished out today, and those start right off the bat, from lead changes, turnaround, stops, all those things. Yeah, so
and so he's keeping in mind everything that's going on, what's going through the mind of the rider as he comes in, him or her comes into the ring.
So a lot of these riders have been doing this for so long that they're very, very seasoned in this show pen, and they know exactly what they're wanting to do, exactly what that horse needs to do. They're keeping in mind every drill they're trying to do as they run around that arena. So whether it's circles, fast, slow, whether it's lead changes, they're trying to make this as perfect as they can and as smooth as they can, because that's the trick here, is smooth. When things look smooth, they look easy.
Excellent. So there's been some great highlights, so let's get to the highlights right now, and we're covering the open bridle class. All right, let's get right to it here. Jared, you've picked out a couple here. We start off with Suzanne Shaw from Calgary, Alberta here. She was on Genuine Brown Cat. What did you find interesting about her ride?
Sure. So this was a great run. Susan Shaw did a great job. This is a great mare. We started off, this horse is nice, loose rein, framed up on her own, all through those big fast circles. This is an effortless maneuver for this horse. Smooth speed transition, which is something these judges are looking for, is just making things really smooth and effortless. So the speed transition from slow or fast to slow was really smooth. The lead changes were flawless. She had a great transition from slow to fast circles once she made those lead changes. She had a smooth rundown, gained speed consistently right to her first big, huge stop, and this horse can really stop. Then into the right turnaround, really steppy turnaround. Not a really fast turnaround, but her cadence was good, and she reached and stepped really nice. That's going to be a +1/2 to a +1 turnaround. Down to the other end of the arena, big, huge stop again. Nice left turnaround, no different than the other one, +1/2 to +1. Into the center, she's traveling so smooth. She hits her stop hard, and she travels with her front end. So really an effortless run for this, reining run for this mare. Onto the cow work. This was a bit of a slow, dull cow. So they called her a new cow, which was a good call. So nice control. This mare is very, very cowy. Had no trouble boxing this cow and looked like she was in total control through the whole thing. Down the fence, her first turn, just buried this horse's hocks in the ground when that cow stopped. Comes around nice. Hits her second turn the same way. This mare's in total control. Circles up both ways, right then left. And I mean, what an effortless run, and she's rewarded for it because she's leading the thing right now.
Number 2, Vance Caglia from High River, Alberta, Reminiscing the Chicks.
Really smooth run by Vance. This horse steps in with a lot of presence. Different than the last run. So Susan had this mare of hers on a loose rein. Vance has this horse bridled up throughout the circles. Really a pretty look. This is something that is aesthetically pleasing and the judges look for. So this horse is soft, bridled up, framed up, great speed. Really big fast circles, which shows the control that he has on this big horse. Lead changes are flawless. Vance's reining run is tremendous. He's got great lead changes. Hits his first big stop, which is a nice stop, probably a +1/2 on the stop. Great steppy turnaround to the right, back down to the other end, huge stop. One of the things I really liked about Vance's backup, when he hit the middle, hit a big stop, all 4 feet of this horse are picked up high and steppy backing up. He's cued right in. The cow work, boy, this horse has tremendous speed. So this is a hard running cow, and he's got all the speed in the world. He just blows by it, hits a big turn, comes back, hits another big turn, and talk about a set of circles. This cow's running hard, and he just He steps wherever he needs to put this horse, and the horse does it willingly. No gaping mouth, no pulling on the reins. This horse knows his job and does it well.
Great. And for number 3 here, we go to Millerville, Alberta, John Swells on Smart Marina.
Yeah, Smart Marina, what a veteran mare in this sport. She comes in, same thing as the last horse, bridled up through those circles. One thing I'd like to emphasize on John's run with Smart Marina, how straight she is through those circles. She's just arced a titch just in on each direction she's traveling, but she maintains this great framed up straight presence throughout the whole thing. She's soft, balanced, lead changes, huge stops. This mare can really plant, and she does it with a big rundown. So a great reining run by Smart Marina. Onto the cow work. This horse is really cowy. The boxing was great, good control on this cow. The first turn was huge to the left. Man, can this horse turn, and she is cowy. She doesn't waste any time getting back to the cow. Hits her second turn, circles up really nice, and this is flawless. And that's one of the things, that's why he's rewarded with such a high score, is these judges saw the degree of difficulty, but it was so smooth.
All right, and number 4, we go to Abbotsford, BC, and Kaylee Wilson with Prickly Plate Ox. Jared.
You bet. So great reining run by Kaylee on this gelding. Really smooth, pretty large circles, bridled up and very straight. Really smooth speed transition. I thought the first lead change was good. It's probably not a plus or a minus. I know this gelding kind of swished his tail and didn't look really smooth. He got through the lead change just fine, but it's probably not going to gain him or lose him any points. The second lead change was really nice, probably a plus half. Big first stop. Right turnaround was a little rougher. This horse hops in his front end a little bit, and that's caused mostly by a little too much speed. So this horse was kind of pushed in his turnaround and hopped a little bit through that right turnaround, and that might have cost him some points. The left turn was much more free. The horse was willing, steppy, and at a lot greater cadence. So that was probably a plus half and might have brought him back to a level score on his turnarounds. The back up here wasn't as free. We like to see these horses steppy, pick themselves up, and really move back off that bridle free and willing. And this horse hung up a little bit, didn't look like he wanted to back as free. He was a little more stiff. The cow work, really good boxing. This horse is cowy. He boxed this cow nice, had lots of control. Leaving the corner going down the first fence turn, it looked like Keeley was having a little trouble rating this cow, and it showed up on the first turn. He hit that turn, and that horse was behind, and he had to smack that horse a little bit to get him back up there, and he had to catch that cow. And then that set him up for a little bit of a rough second turn where that horse hung with the bridle, and you can see that on the second turn where he goes to pull that horse back to the cow, and that horse actually looks off and maybe isn't quite connected to that cow. So aesthetically, he's not gaining a lot of points here. Circled the cow nice, got finished the run pretty clean, but it's not going to be a really great cow work score.
So we've had quite a run today. Hey, Jared.
Right, yeah, it's been a great cow horse show. The non-pro was exciting, some great horses. The Hackamore class, probably the best Hackamore class we've seen in Calgary here for maybe the 14 years it's been going on. And the bridle class, wow, some great finished bridle horses here. So it's setting up to be really exciting finals day tomorrow.
All right, so just set us up for tomorrow.
Sure, so I'm not sure how all the aggregate scores kind of came in today, but it looks like the judges have kind of got the best horses sorted for sure. So what's happening is we've got the non-pros coming back. They're gonna fight for in order of go. They're gonna fight for champion reserve and champion non-pro bridle. Then we're gonna move to the Hackamore class. We call the Derby horse or Hackamore class. They're gonna compete for the open Hackamore. Open Hackamore champions and reserve champion. Then to the big ones. That's the finished prestigious bridle horse. That's where the money is in this deal. So they're going to compete for champion and reserve champion open bridle horse tomorrow.
So what goes on this evening? What do the riders do for their horses at this point?
Right. So the guys coming back to the finals tomorrow that are in competition or have a chance at this deal, obviously, they're there for a reason. They don't have to do very much. They're going to go home. They're going to take those horses, probably cool them out, feed them lots, whatever they need to do. There's going to be some tweaking. You can bet if there's something that they don't feel that's right, whether that's in a turnaround, whether that's rating a cow, there's going to be horses working cows tonight. Not too much, because they can't burn the engine out on these horses, but if there's little things that they're going, hey, my horse hung up on the fence to the left, they're going to fix that tonight.
Excellent. Setting up for a great day two. As we mentioned earlier, you're the seed stock manager at Soderglen Ranches. Let's talk about replacement bulls at this time of year.
Yeah, you bet. So obviously breeding season's underway. This is a pretty crucial time of year. This is what it all comes down to. If you got open cows, you don't have calves next spring. So turning bulls out, there's going to be wrecks. There's going to be lots of that stuff happen. We've got lots of bulls around, and we just want everybody to know that if you have a wreck or you need bulls or you need more herd sires, give us a call anytime. It's what we do.
Sounds good. And they can find out the information at soderglen.com.
That's right. Go to soderglen.com. All the bulls are on the website. All the contact info's there.
All right, we're looking forward to day two. Again, Jared Sherman will be back for our coverage here at the Calgary Stampede of the Working Cow Horse Bridle class. For Rural Roots Canada, I'm Craig Luster, getting to the stem and meat of agriculture.